welcome back. Certainly glad you could join us today. I thought today we'd do a painting that's just very pretty to make you feel good inside.
Hello my friends, and welcome to Paulina Art. Today we're going to be painting Splendor of Autumn, inspired by Bob Ross. This painting was on season 28, episode 10. I'm going to attach a link on the description box below on Bob Ross tutorial for Splendor of Autumn. I chose this painting because I love autumn, and I also love this palette with yellows and purples. In this tutorial, I'm going to be talking about Bob Ross as if he still was with us, because I feel his art, his creativity, his sense of humor is still with us. I hope I did his painting some justice. If you would like to see how I created my own version of Splendor of Autumn, stay with me and let's paint together.
Let's just have some fun today.
Today I'm working on a 12 by 16 canvas board, and I coated it last night with a little bit of gesso mixed with a drop of yellow ochre and a drop of linen to create this nice light warm yellow. Now I'm going to be painting with Bob Ross, but I'm going to be using my own techniques because I'm working with acrylic paint. But let's see how Bob starts this painting.
I've just covered the entire canvas with a very, very thin coat of liquid white. Let's just do something that's bright and shiny and pretty. As I say, it'll make you feel good inside. All right, we'll just put a little yellow right there. Something about like that. There we go. I'm gonna go right into yellow ochre. Very nice, warm color. I like it. Let's just blend that together. Phthalo blue and alizarin crimson. There we go. We'll just make a nice lavender color. Then I'm going to start on the outside edge and just begin blending that in. I don't want a dark color here, just a little lavender. Just to bring it up like that. As I say, I thought we'd do something today that's just very bright and sparkly. Maybe even something that has an autumn feel to it. What the heck?
Okay, so what Bob did, he started with the yellows and then mixed to create the purples. I'm going to do the same, but instead of using a brush, I'm going to use this sponge because I feel this sponge is going to work better with acrylics. I have here a little printout from my computer of the painting, which I have divided into 4 quadrants. And this is going to give me a good idea of the proportions where things go as I'm following Bob's tutorial. Okay, my friends, I just did a line here with my chalk where I feel the horizon line will go. And this just gives me a guideline so my proportions stay similar to his painting. Bob Ross likes to start his paintings with a light coat of white oil paint so everything flows. Now, because acrylic paint dries really quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a light coat with a little bit of my blending gel. And he started with the yellows, the ochres, and the purples. And then he did the white, but I'm going to start with the whites first, and from that start building the color. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of white with my sponge, which I've already rinsed with water and remove the excess water out of the sponge. And I feel the sun it's around the center of the painting, really a little bit to the more to the right, but pretty much center, I would say. Then I'm going to move on to my yellow, picking up a little bit of yellow. And I'm going to blend with the clean side of the sponge. And I'm going to add a little bit of my yellow ochre now. And I'm going to start adding the purple. Bob mixed his purple with some red and blue, but I have purple in here, so I'm just going to mix it with a little bit of white to create a lighter purple. And this is what I'm going to use for the sides. Not as smooth as Bob's painting, but hopefully we can pull it all together. Okay, let's see what's the next step.
I don't know, just start making decisions here. Maybe there's some little things that live back in here, wherever. We're just going to make some little background indications, things that live far away. There. There we go. You're going to have the whole thing painted already. That's all it takes. That easy.
Okay, so we're going to start adding our greenery, our trees, our bushes. And Bob is using a big brush, but I'm going to go ahead and continue with my sponge. And I'm going to start very light, like he did at the background, mixing white with my purple, just a little drop. And I'm going to start adding the idea of trees, of branches and things in here. And he went lighter as he got closer to the light source, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, let's see what happens next.
We'll have a little water. We can just pull some of this down. We'll decide where the water lives later. But we have a little bit in there if we need it. I'm gonna take a little bit of blue. A little thin blue we just add right in there. So it has a little bluish cast to it. But it's still mostly lavender. It's just more of the blue side now. All right.
Okay, we're gonna start creating the sense of water with a little bit of blending gel. I'm gonna put where the water is gonna be in here. And I'm gonna start adding the reflections with my purple color. And he added a little bit of blue as well. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of my blue. And I'm going to add it in here too.
This is just titanium white. Maybe in our world, right there. Want that to be nice and shiny. Happy little bush, it lives right here. Comes right out like that. There. And we'll pull a little reflection down for him. That easy. That easy.
Okay, we're going to add some light at the back, and we're going to start adding the bushes on the side. I'm going to pick up a little bit of white with my angle brush and a little bit of blending gel so it moves a little freely. I'm going to add my highlight back here. And we're going to start adding the little bushes at the sides. Again, I'm going to use my sponge. So the little bushes come around here. Let's add them up. And we're going to add the reflection right away in here.
Who knows? Give it a little pinkish flavor. Pull it out flat, cut across. Let's do that slow so you can see it. Cut across. Let's go up in here. Then we can take, and with that, just cut in an indication of just a little water line that lives right up in there. Something like that. I don't want a real distinct one, just a hint. Just a hint of color right in there, like so. There we go.
Okay, we're gonna mix a little bit of white with a tiny, tiny little bit of red. And we're gonna create the illusion of a little bit of a shoreline in here.
And just take it through a little bit of white. So I have light on one side, dark on the other. See? White, dark. Okay? Now, we have to decide, here's our light source right here. So light's going to come from both directions. We need to keep that in mind. Keep the light side of this to the left. Need it a little bit lighter. Didn't come out quite light enough so that it shows up. We'll just do it again here. See? Get the light and the dark side both at once. Works well. And maybe, yeah, what the heck, it's working so well. Let's do it again. Okay, one more time. We'll give him a little frame. There, I see we have tree trunks. That easy.
Now he adds a couple of little trees and he uses brown. I'm gonna use brown and a little bit of my berry wine just to give it some color. And he puts the white at the other end of the brush to create a light and dark side to the trees. So there's a couple of little trees in here. We're going to add a little bit of green at the top, just like Bob does.
Just wonderful. There. Just a little green left back here, even though Jack Frost may be doing his magic. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right there. Each layer gets a little bit darker.
And there's a little bit of yellow ochre down here, and a little bit of red as well. And there's some little green bushes on this side. Okay, we're back to the purple. Okay, we're even going to add a little bit of black to our purple, just like Bob did, just to intensify the front. And we're adding a little bit of brightness in here.
I like it. There. You ready for this? Maybe in our world there lives big tree right there. Right there. Maybe the big tree has a friend. Right there. There we go. Looks like something I used to make a slingshot out of when I was a kid. Got in a lot of trouble with them. Maybe on this side. Here we go. Another big old tree. Don't let these big trees scare you. Just drop them in. It's your world, and you can put a big tree wherever you want it. Wherever you want it. Or you can put a little tree. Up to you. Or even a tiny little tree. Whatever.
Okay, my friends, I'm not sure if the recording went off, so I'm not sure if the trees were recorded, but I used brown and berry wine for the tree trunks, just to give them a nice fall color. Then I'm going to pick up the same berry wine with brown on a round pointed brush. Now I'm going to start adding the little branches that Bob added to the trees. Just some branches. This little tree looks a little bit dark, so I'm going to add some black on this side. And I'm going to add a little bit of darkness on this side of this one too, just to give the tree a little more dimension, and at the branches too. A little bit of black on this side of the trees here too. And what Bob did is made these ones into birch, and he used a palette knife, but I'm just going to use my angle brush, and I'm picking up a little bit of the white, and I'm just going to apply it, rounding it a little bit, just to create the same effect he did with the palette knife. And he added a little touch up here too. And I'm going to do the same one on this one. And this tree right here, he made it a little different. This one we're just going to tap to create a little effect of the side of the tree, to create the effect of the bark. And now we're going to add a tiny tad on this one and on this one.
Whatever. On these. This little round brush, it didn't take too long to do that. In fact, I think I'll just close the whole top of this in. Makes an interesting composition. I like it. There.
Okay, my friends, we're going to go back to the purple for the top. But because these trees are closer to us, I'm going to use this sponge. Bob used the same brush he used for the other trees, but I'm going to move to this large sponge, which is going to give me the effect of larger leaves at the top here. And I'm going to add some of this larger purple at the bottom as well to indicate these are closer. And he also added some orange, some red and yellows, creating this nice orange color. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to add a little bit at the front too, just a little bit in here. I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow, just to add some highlight in there. Okay, my friends, and our beautiful painting, Splendor of Autumn, inspired by Bob Ross, is done. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed doing this painting. If you like this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends so I can keep creating content for you. And subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any future content from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.
Hope you've enjoyed this one. With that, we're going to call it done. And from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend.